2024 Connecticut real estate market predictions. It's been a quiet week this week between Christmas and New Year's. I'll give you an update what's going on in the market. There's also been a big development, the Branford renovation house. I'll let you know about that. I'm Dave with the Bolduc Realty Group. Welcome to my weekly real estate market update. Today's December 29th. This is the last update for 2023. Let's talk about key Connecticut market stats. Active on the market today, 3,581. That's down 159 from last week. There were 72 new listings over the last 24 hours, usually closer to 300, but with the New Year's holiday, it makes sense. Inventory is down 22% since Thanksgiving here in Connecticut. The drop is 1,006 houses total from 4,587 to 3,581. That's a big drop. We had 3,003 closings in November. We're at 2,655 right now in December. I expect we'll get close to 3,000 by the time it's all done and all the records are updated for December. Based on November sales, we've got about 1.2 months of inventory on the shelf. Next week is going to be slow too, but then we should see the inventory start to pick up as we get into January. The question is, how much are we going to see come back on the market? No change on the key dates. None of the data points that I track have been updated this week just because of the holiday. The jobs report next week and then the CPI and PPI reports the following week should set the tone for January. Signs of inflation coming back. We should probably see the mortgage rates climb back up again. If the signs of inflation continuing to ease, we'll probably see what we've seen over the last 6 weeks or so, which is a steady easing of the mortgage rates. Mortgage rates have been steady the last week or two. I think that's just because of the holiday season, and we're in that 6.5% range right now. Inventory in many parts of the country has gone up a little bit, but up since Thanksgiving. Not so much here in Connecticut. As I mentioned, we're down 22% in Connecticut. There are other states that have seen similar declines to what we're seeing. The important point here is national data is interesting on real estate, but it's pretty much useless. Real estate is very local, and you need to understand what's going on in your market. I still think January is going to be a busy month. The first week or so is going to be slow as everybody comes out of holiday mode, but just from personal experience, I've already connected with a couple of new buyers that are ready to get out there right now and start looking. So 2024 is going to be an interesting year, and here are my predictions for 2024. My first prediction is foreclosures will continue to climb, but they're going to remain below those 2019 levels of 0.36% of housing units. Why do I say this? Well, in Q3 of 2023, delinquencies greater than 90 days dropped to 1.52% of all mortgages. That is the lowest we've seen since 1984. And the reason for that, I think, is because most houses have very high equity and there's a very low supply. Prices are up. So homeowners have an exit. If they're in a situation where they're behind in payments, where there's distress, they're able to sell the house, put some money in their pocket, and start fresh. And I think some people are really taking advantage of that. So I think that foreclosures are going to stay relatively low. We're not going to see a tidal wave of foreclosures in 2024. Inventory of homes in Connecticut will recover, but they're going to remain at or below about 2 months of inventory. Remember, at 1.2 months right now. The reason I say that, construction's flat. Through October of 2023, there's only been about 4,600 permits issued to build new units. That's very low. Remember, before 2007, we were doing 10,000 to 11,000. We've averaged about 5,000 or 6,000 per year. And we will have some more as we get toward the end of the year. The other thing, foreclosures, they're not going to be a major supply. They weren't last year, and they're not going to be in the future for 2024. Who knows what will happen beyond that. High prices are also enticing some sellers to come back, but they are still feeling that pressure or that resistance around mortgage rates. So a lot of houses have sub 4% mortgage rates. They're looking at 6.5% now. That's still a big difference. We'll see what happens there. I still think that inventory is going to remain low for a long time. Talking about mortgage rates, my third prediction, interest rates will be in the 5.5% range by the end of the year. Now, I know this is literally a photocopy from 2023. I blew that one. I totally messed it up. There's some differences this time going in. One of the things we've seen a track record of inflation cooling, and we expect it to continue. There are some things out there that might drive inflation back up. Hopefully those get under control, but right now we're seeing inflation in a decent place. Interest rates are 280 basis points or 2.8% above, when I say interest, I'm talking about mortgage rates, above the 10-year Treasury yield. Over the long term, the difference between mortgage rates and the 10-year Treasury yield is 170 basis points or 1.7%. That 110 basis points difference, if you take that off of mortgage rates, we go from 6.6 to 5.5. So that's why I think 5.5 is realistic. If we just revert to the mean of the difference between the 10-year yield and mortgage rates, then we're back at 5.5%. On top of that, last year the Fed was talking about increasing interest rates, which they did quite a bit. And this year they're talking about starting to reduce them. They're talking about 75 basis points of reductions by the end of 2024. So there are a few differences this year versus last year. I think we're in a much better place looking at mortgage rates coming down. My fourth prediction, total U.S. home sales will exceed 2023 numbers. Right now, the estimate is 4.5 million. I'll update this when the final 2023 numbers come out. But I expect we'll be around 5 million home sales. The lower interest rates will open up possibilities to release pent-up demand and also potentially some pent-up supply. As interest rates reduce, we're going to see more buyers come into the market. Like I said, I've already gotten a couple of new buyers that are looking to get out there as soon as the holidays are over. Sales are going to increase, and that's going to also, if we don't see a commensurate supply increase, we're going to see prices go up. And that's my last prediction. Prices are going to be up 5 to 6% next year in Connecticut. While past performance does not indicate future performance, market conditions are kind of the same. We have very low supply and we have demand that is stronger than supply. And as mortgage rates come down, demand is going to go up. As I said before, the question is how much is supply going to go up? That's the key. As mortgage rates come down, we're going to see that pressure, that supply and demand play out, and prices are going to creep up. Remember, they were talking about prices being flat or down in 2023. In Connecticut, they were up 10.8% by the end of November. We don't have the December numbers yet, but we'll see what they are. So those are my predictions for 2024. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. So we got some very exciting news coming out of the Christmas holiday at the Branford renovation house.
Got the panel on here. You might notice the little green light on the outlet. And a light bulb's on. Got power in the house today. Woohoo!
With power now on in the house, the electrician and plumber are wrapping up their work. Heat should be on early next week. Things are going to move faster after that. Everything that could have been done without heat and power pretty much was. So now it's just a matter of putting everything back together and looking forward to sharing that with you. That's all I have for the final Connecticut real estate market update for 2023. Happy New Year from my family to yours. Have a great day.